Welcome to the Easy Answer Podcast. I'm Brandy, plant-based chef.
And I'm Vonanise, plant-based adjacent.
On this podcast, we explore thought-provoking conversations around food
and simple ways to stay healthy in this crazy world.
Hey guys, on this episode of the Easy Answer Podcast, we are going to talk about lifestyle medicine. You know, we always talk about food here, but it's not only about what you eat, it's about the whole journey of how you take care of yourself in the process. So, welcome. Hey, Vaughn.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. You know, when you think about the idea of lifestyle medicine, it always makes me think about, like, they say, like, the whole self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are there any challenges that you have, like besides like eating well? Like I've always talked about sleep. Like you guys know I don't sleep. That's my thing that I struggle with.
I mean, I don't struggle with sleep. I'm a Pisces, so I sleep, and sleep some more. All right. Thank God that's not my struggle. Okay. But I don't drink enough water, and I definitely have too much sugar in my diet. Those, like, I'm always struggling. Like, did I drink enough water? Like, I even count calories on the app. Don't try to play me, Brandy. And I never have like enough water, you know?
Even with my simple strategy of drinking 4 quart containers a day to get a gallon.
I mean, but who can ever get to that? Like I'm walking around holding the cord, and then the water gets all around your lips. I don't like that. And then I can't always find my silver straw. Like sometimes I lose my the straw that you have, and I have that. Like I can't have water all around my lips, all juicy, messing up my hair.
I don't know what's going on in your life that your water from your lips is going to end up messing up your hair, but okay.
No, it's really a problem. So I find myself like wanting to drink water out of like a cute little cup like this, my little tea mug, you see?
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to constantly challenge myself, did you drink enough today?
Got it. Yeah, so that's why like this is actually a 32-ounce bottle, so like it does kind of suck to carry it around, I will have to say.
Yes, it's heavy.
It is heavy.
That's the thing. So things like that are heavy. And the other thing, like the Chinese food container where they have like the big soup, that's not really meant to drink out of. Like it's a little bit uncouth to put that to your mouth because then the water could splash all over here.
Yet again, I have no idea like what your drinking technique is. I've never had that problem ever.
Maybe you're a neater drinker than me.
I love it. So what's that? So there was this article and like this whole conversation around like lifestyle medicine has come up a lot. I haven't seen much of it in the American press, but it's come up a lot in like international press, which makes a lot of sense because they approach health from a different perspective than we do.
I mean, that makes sense. Like in America's even run like a business sometimes. Like we applaud people for working 16-hour days and say things like, oh, you're grinding. And meanwhile, the person has a nervous breakdown 6 months later.
Yeah, I know. It's really crazy. I mean, interestingly enough, like who was that? Ariana Huffington, who kind of shifted her whole like brand around this idea of self-care to thrive, like after running the Huffington Post, which of course like the whole media industry is such a, definitely grind, but through her process she kind of encourages people like, listen, it's only work, guys.
Yeah, and also I think I read a story that they have a meditation room, and I saw it on TV where you could go into and just sit for a moment. And I've worked in other offices as a temp where, they had a room where you could go and meditate and sit and just be alone with your thoughts, which is always really a good idea,
Yeah. I love that meditation is becoming more like mainstream. Like remember before it was thought of as something that's so like, I don't know, only those weird hippie people do it, only those yogi folk do it, only those people who don't believe in like Jesus Christ the Savior into this like meditation thing. And it used to be considered like super woo-woo, but now it seems like very acceptable. And then there's apps like Calm that make it very accessible.
I mean, all of those like they've done tons of studies that show that always talk about the benefits of meditation. Like, you know, I dated a guy who was in finance, and I told him I was did meditation. He was like, I really want to learn how to do that. I read a story in a journal about meditation, and I was like, really? He was like, maybe you could show me. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Surprisingly. And it's interesting too because meditation always seems to be like this big to do, right? Like people think you have to go to like the Himalayan mountains and like, study with the monks for like a year in order to be able to master it. But really it's literally just the act of being mindful and present for like a certain amount of time. And literally, if you're talking like 1 to 5 minutes will do like wonders. It doesn't have to be some long, extended experience. And even if you're just thinking about clearing your mind, like just the act of kind of stopping and being intentional is helpful as well.
Yeah, and focusing on your breath. I
Yeah.
mean, but I think things just always seem bigger than everything seems bigger than it actually is until you try it, you know?
Kind of like plant-based, right? Hence the reason plant-based adjacent is kind of the philosophy that we use here, right? It's this idea that like, oh, being plant-based is so much work and I can't
Because
do
you
it.
always think you're not going to have enough food to eat.
Yes,
We're
exactly.
thinking about what they're taking away. And I'm saying just be plant based adjacent. Just add more vegetables to every meal. And
Correct.
because you add more vegetables, I personally don't want to add as much meat. You know?
Yeah. And if you want to show your support for the plant-based adjacent movement, you can purchase some of our merchandise at bit.ly.teap store, where you can find plant-based adjacent merchandise, everything from mugs to bags to cups, and show your support of our podcast and of the lifestyle.
Thank you so much. Look at Brandy. It's the
Listen, we
new
up
year. She's
here
stepping up the technology. We
we're going to shamelessly plug it all. None of this hiding in the background. Okay, we create good content, and we want your support.
you, Brandy. Kudos to you. Go smart for Brandy.
Listen, we have all these planning meetings all the time, and you know what? Life. We're talking. This is a conversation. Lifestyle medicine, right? Being committed
Yeah.
to taking care of yourself. What are the things that help you to do that? And for me, it is stressful for me to know that we have like this store that we're not promoting. So my commitment to this year was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this off of my list of subconscious stressors.
I mean, anytime you decide you're going to do something, all right, and you feel like I said I was going to do it and I half-assed it, it stresses me too. You know, like I did, like I'll write something and then I'll write it and then I'll shelve it and then I'll sit on it. And then Brandy will be like, Vonnies, get your writing out. And I'm like, I don't know. I need to tweak it a little. You're like, Vonnies, you
I'm
know,
like, have you watched the stuff that's on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu? You are more than fine.
and we all feel like I think everyone feels trepidation about stepping up in their life, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
until you
Cool.
actually do it.
Yeah, that's it. And so, guys, as we always do at the Easy Answer podcast, we invite an expert about the conversation that we're having because, we don't know everything. We just like to think that we do. And today we are bringing on Aisha Smith, who's going to talk to us about lifestyle medicine. Hey, Aisha.
Hi. Here's
Welcome
my
to.
water. Here's my water. It's so heavy.
It is, right? Don't try to blame me.
Yeah,
You being serious, right?
50 ounces. No, it's not heavy.
Come on, don't try to blame me. You know, if you had that in your purse, it would be heavy. Okay.
That's okay. All right.
Along with everything else, you have a purse. You have everything in your purse. You're saying that would not be that would
I
not.
have a book bag, which I bought specifically to fit my lunch containers when I bring my food and my glass containers and my water. I feel fine. I have 2 straps and I'm good to go.
You and Brandy, like, what about your cute little purse, girl? You can't fit
Cute
that in the
nothing, okay? Constipation is not cute.
Oh God, you're never have a person like Brandy.
But so if you guys haven't, we have a whole episode on poop that we will put somewhere.
Oh, okay. Sorry, didn't mean
No,
to jump the gun.
listen, Vaughn is trauma. She's traumatized by this concept of pooping, which is definitely something that is important for a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, sure is.
Yes, it
So,
really is.
Aisha, before we get into more banter, tell us who you are.
Okay, so I'm Aisha Smith, also known as the Plant Power Nurse Practitioner, and I'm a nurse practitioner, board
Nice.
certified.
Cool. Look at that. We got an official person on here today.
Yes, I have
Right.
a practice. I have a primary care practice in Harlem called Smith Care.
That's
Nice.
exciting.
Yeah. Smith Care. You can learn more about Smith Care
Thank
there,
you.
smithcare.life.
Yes.
All right. So, lifestyle medicine, like that's the philosophy, I guess I would say, that you use in your practice, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, can
Um,
you tell us, yeah, a little bit about it?
yeah, so lifestyle medicine is actually an evidence-based treatment that we use, those who choose to treat chronic illness, prevent, manage, reverse chronic illness. It was started by a bunch of physicians, and the organization is called the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. And so, what you can do is you can become a board certified lifestyle medicine practitioner. And it started out, like I said, with just doctors, and then they realized, okay, we need other people to use this lifestyle form of treatment, not just physicians. So now, as a nurse practitioner, as a nutritionist, you can become board certified, and then you can use lifestyle medicine in your practice. And basically, what it is it's what we should be using all the time. It's looking at the person holistically. We have 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, and when we evaluate patients, we look at all of those pillars. So
Got
the
it.
difference would be, and the pillars include, so we have plant predominant food, right? A plant predominant diet, exercise, restorative sleep, um, healthy use of substances, social interaction. So when we see our patients, we do a full evaluation of those patients. We're not just looking at your symptoms. We're looking at like what's going on in your entire life.
Got it. So, what are some of the things that you find people struggle with the most when you're talking about those 6 pillars?
I'm going to say stress is number one. But the interesting thing about the stress is that people never know they have the stress until you ask the right questions. And that's what's good about lifestyle medicine, because you have to ask questions. So I had a patient recently, she came to me and her problem was, I'm on blood pressure medication. I don't want to get on more and I need to lose some weight. So we talked and we went through the whole evaluation, which covers stress, and how she had been through several diet plans and she was craving and all these other things. And then she cried for about 5 minutes when I realized that not only was she having these issues, she's a primary caretaker of her mother who's 100 years old. She's struggling with COVID, working from home, not being able to leave the house. So her primary issue was actually stress,
Oh, okay.
caregiver stress, depression, and then the other things kind of follow. So once we were able to evaluate that, we were able to deal with the stress first. So I've been sending people to psychotherapy like crazy, because if you don't have that part worked out, you can't manage food if you're stressed out, so you have to kind of figure out where your problem really lies and then deal with all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Cool. And is there any I don't know, like list of questions, like you happen to be equipped with like, oh, this person came and I have this list of questions that I
Right.
asked. Like, is there a place that I don't know that we could go, or if we're trying to, I don't know, figure out it ourselves, if we're stressed and we just don't know it, is there any, I don't know, practice or
Like,
process you can go through?
use something that you can go to online.
Like, or like through your, like go through a practice on yourself, like questions that you ask yourself to kind of figure out if you're stressed. Because like you say, you don't know until you ask the question. So is there a way to self-evaluate that?
That's a good question. I mean, I have to research that to see like something online where people can go and just see like a self stress evaluation. If you have questions about any of those things, you can always see me. You can come to me and I'll ask you all the questions at my practice. But I can look and I can give you that information.
Cool.
But I think that like now we're hearing about, everyone's talking about, I even heard Warren Buffett weighing about the Great Recession, where so many people, it was like almost 500,000 people, or was it 4.5 million, quit their jobs.
Oh
You
Mm,
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and then Warren Buffett advice was don't do a job that you don't love. Because if you don't love it, you will quit. you know?
Right.
And a lot of jobs that they're quitting are the jobs that we need people in, the essential worker jobs, customer service fields, I was just on the phone with someone from Apple today. She cut me off 3 times and she was like, I'm sorry for cutting you off. And I was like, no, you're not. This is the third time you did it. She was like, I suffer from severe anxiety. Once she said that, because she knows she was about to get it was about to get an email to the vice president because I don't play those things. But once she said that, I'm like, are you trying to disarm me now? Because I know what you're trying to do. All
No,
right.
it's true. People have, I mean, and if you didn't,
Better, but people have problems.
yeah. I mean, this is the thing about, I feel like us as people, and I'm going to have to go deeper as a person of color, right? You are trained to keep it moving. So
Yeah.
even when I have patients that come to me, they're like, I have anxiety and I have stress. And I'm like, well, what's going on in your life? I just had a baby and I'm in my master's program and I work. And I'm like, okay, so I don't even need to do an assessment. Like, you stress out because you're doing too much. So a lot of times we just keep going. I mean, it's COVID. We have lost people. You can't go outside. You can't be around your friends and family. That alone will stress you out.
Definitely.
But
Human beings are social beings.
Yes, exactly. So we should just, what you can do to evaluate yourself, just to say, what is really going on with me? How am I feeling? Am I sad? Am I happy? But everybody needs psychotherapy anyway. So if you're living through COVID time, just call a psychotherapist because you have some things you need to get off your chest, or a great friend, but really a professional.
Yeah, that's true. I
Serious.
noticed that, like, for me, when I get stressed more, and this is what we were talking about earlier, like at one point I was unemployed for like a long time, right?
Mhm.
For me, because I like keep a job. I keep like 2 jobs, right? So I had like no job. So I had like no money coming in. And I found that like during the day, whenever I would think about it, it would make me just more upset and want to cry and feel like a failure. So when I just meditated, like my sister was like, you meditate 3 times a day? I was like, yes. A bitch been unemployed for 6 months. Don't try to play me.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It just made everything better, And I just had to keep, whatever I was doing, I'd be like, just meditate. You understand?
Right.
And I think that people have to find the things that work for them. You could talk to a friend. You like talking to a friend, meditating works.
Writing even, if that's your thing.
Journaling, yeah, journaling is important. But the thing about it is not even just about how you feel. That's important. You say, I meditate, I feel better. But on a physiological level, one thing that people need to understand is, we address those pillars not only because they make you feel better at the end of the day, but physiologically, you're going to be in a better place.
Yes.
Stress can actually increase your glucose level.
Mm-hmm.
Stress can throw your hormones out of whack. Stress can increase your blood pressure. So what you're feeling, your body is feeling as well. So your body's responding to that. So if you can get if you can say, oh, I'm woosad, I feel better, your body's going to respond the same way.
Yeah, but then I also like, I've seen a lot of documentaries about social media. Have you seen The Social Dilemma? And it just talks about how social media is set up to bring us closer, but it's also making us feel further apart from each other. And I think that people are even more stressed. And they talked about how like 70% of tweens between the ages of like 12 and 15 girls felt like social media made them feel more depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's because it's the highlight reel of someone else's life. If you could just stop and say to yourself, well, what am I grateful for? What have I accomplished for me? And this morning I made a list of 5 things and I had everything accomplished by 5 o'clock, by 2 o'clock. So I was like, dang, you killing it.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like little things like that, could make people feel really, great about where they are in their life, comparing themselves to other people.
Exactly. Which is not even real life that you're seeing.
Yes.
It's somebody's fake life that they put on social media. So yes, it's true. And then you just need time for yourself sometimes. When you're on social media, that's not your time. You're not focusing inward. It's outward. So it's important to spend time by yourself, meditate like you said, or whatever.
Yeah,
take a walk.
Taking a walk. Yes, I notice that when I go outside, I breathe in the air and I'm like, why was I upset?
True. And like you said earlier, like I do 5 minutes of, there's a Peloton gratitude. Is it gratitude? No, patience, because I'm definitely impatient. So I do the 5 minute patience meditation every single morning. And what happens is because I've done it every day for so long, it kicks into place like almost instantly. So I was like at
Um,
LabCorp waiting, and I called my boyfriend. I'm like, I'm about to turn up in here. I've been in here for an hour, and then all of a sudden it like kicked in. I was like, okay, and I just started. I just closed my eyes and I just breathed, and I was fine. So like, it like becomes your norm. Like if you do it regularly, it'll become your norm.
well, that's a little bit of Big Brother watching too, but we're not going to talk about that. But also, I think like at the end of the night, every night before I go to sleep, instead of focusing on anything else, I just say like, name what you're grateful for today, and I just make a list of the things and the people
Right.
in my life that I'm grateful for. You know,
Yes.
and if say you had a really rough day and it was a hard day and you can't think of anything, say to yourself, I'm grateful that I'm here now. I'm still healthy and that I can get to sleep at this very moment. Like that's it. You know?
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, you just have to look at the bigger picture. Really do.
Yeah.
This is a
So we
tough
talk about sleep. I know that's one of the pillars. I know we spend a lot of time on stress, which I totally get
Yeah.
because it affects all the things, which is so
Yeah.
interesting. How much? What's the recommended amount of sleep you would say people should get every night?
Definitely between 7 and 9 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Check and check.
Mm-hmm.
And
Next.
make sure that it's quality sleep, because there's a difference between sleeping and getting quality sleep. Some people don't even know that. What I always ask when I'm seeing somebody, I said, how do you feel in the morning? So the pillar is restorative sleep, because you can sleep, but you can wake up. There's people that wake up every morning and say, I didn't feel like I slept an hour. I'm exhausted. There are more people than that are getting sleep apnea because they are overweight, they've gained weight, and so they're sleeping, but they're not resting at
Yeah.
night. We find that people who drink more before bed, which more people are drinking because of COVID. They're at home more, you're stressed more,
You mean drink
sleeping.
alcohol or drink water?
So drinking alcohol late at night can mess up your sleep pattern. It actually can wake you up in REM too. So what happens, like especially with like wine or something,
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, I drink wine before I go to bed and I sleep, but then I wake up in the middle of the night." And what happens is, like for instance, that will alcohol can put you to sleep, so you get through REM 1 sleep, but it awakens you in REM 2, so you only get half the sleep. So I find people when they stop drinking late, or maybe they'll move it up to like 7 or 8 or 6, they sleep through the night. So small things like that can make
Now,
it.
like drinking tea. Like I drink sleepy time tea
That's great.
every night. It really helps me. Like it really puts me to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah. Right. And you have a routine. Like we
Yeah.
have to look at our hygiene, which Brandy and I were talking about. Like there are certain things that will definitely keep you awake. It's not even, it's evidence. There's evidence that if you use your phone or you use your laptop, because the type of light that they emit confuses your body and you don't even realize that it's like nighttime. Your body says it's daytime. So you're going to be wide awake till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So there are things that you should do, like turning off the laptop, turning off the phone a couple of hours. Don't eat like 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. 3 hours is best. And give yourself a time, some time to wind down. Most of us are working from home, which it can be a blessing and a curse, because it's like you never get away from your laptop.
Yes.
Like I have to drag myself. Like I said, when I get off with you guys, I gotta go for a walk. I've been sitting at my computer since 9. I'm burnt out. And I could stay here all day.
Yes.
Yep.
So, kind of like giving yourself a chance to get rid of all the things that you have to do, wind down, take a bath, drink some tea, meditate, whatever, and then get into your relaxed mode.
Yes. I
Man,
definitely noticed that taking a bath before I go to sleep really helps me to get to sleep like really
yeah,
good. Tea and a bath, girl, I'm out. I'm like a baby.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what you need.
That's a commitment.
A couple of drops of lavender in there, you'll be good.
Yes. Wait, that's too much of a commitment, Brandy.
I'm not saying it's too much of a commitment. I'm saying it's a commitment. You understand? Like, which is
To do the bath?
huh?
To do the bath?
To draw the bath, to sit in the bath, then to let the water run out after you take the bath, then to clean the tub after you get out of the bath. Like, that's a commitment. And then go and make some tea and then drink the tea. Like,
well, you don't have to do all of that stuff. Well, that's like a what? That's like 2 hours because I can stay in the bathtub for the longest once I get in there.
Yes, I know, it's so good, right?
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be like that. You draw the bath when you put the water on for the tea, Brandy, and then when you get in the tub, just drink the tea when you're in the tub. Get one of those things and drink the tea when you're in the tub.
Get you a bath pillow.
I have one of those. I have a back. Actually,
You can see like an old lady in the bath drinking.
Exactly.
All right, habit stacking. I got it. Okay, all right, guys. I'm gonna. All right. So we're doing a sugar-free challenge, partnering with Aisha to do this sugar-free challenge starting on February the 8th. But now I'm thinking that maybe after or sometime after we should do like a sleep challenge too, because I mean, like adopting a solid sleep hygiene, that could be an interesting.
We could do a stress sleep one. Stress sleep.
Yeah, stress.
Yeah, meditating on the whole time and then getting a nighttime routine is really important. Because I would literally have diabetics that will say, you know, my glucose in the morning is sky high, and it's literally because they're not sleeping. So again, it's not just, oh, I feel, it's your body is responding to what's going on with you. So you're putting yourself in a state of disease by not doing these things.
That's so true.
Yeah, cool. All right, so I want to just kind of leave us summarizing the 6 pillars of, what are these things called?
Lifestyle medicine.
Thank you.
I see them running across, so I'm going to reiterate: stress management, avoidance of risky substances, positive social connection, plant predominant diet, exercise, and I think stress management I left off.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, tell us again how we can get in contact with you. I know we shared your website, but are you on social or email?
I'm on social media at Smith Care Life. Everything Smith Care Life. My website is smithcare.life, right? Yeah. Smithcare.life. Yes, correct.
Cool, guys, and like we say, we are going to be launching our sugar-free challenge on February the 6th. So stay tuned for details for how you can register for that and have a 4-week experience helping you to, what are we doing? What are we calling it? Break up your love affair.
Yes, stop your love affair with sugar and
because sugar is a drug too.
Exactly, it is. Your brain responds to it like cocaine, they say.
See, Brandy, please don't encourage Brandy with this.
It's true.
But you don't have the withdrawal symptoms that you do when you get off of cocaine, Brandy.
I beg to differ. I got family members that can't get off soda. They
it's hard for me to get off
of
soda. I've done it before, but you don't have a physical withdrawal from it.
I don't know. I've seen it.
Brandy, get out of here. I can't.
All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us for another episode.
Thank you, ladies. That was fun.
Thanks, Aisha.
Take care.
Remember to be easy.